Hello, everyone. I'm going to do a health check part 3 because I'm changing my sheets and I ran across my, hold on. Here's my neck massager. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Sorry, Papa. You can get them on Amazon. I think they're like 20, maybe $30. Oh, sorry, Dad. I keep flicking him in the face with it. This one is this brand, but there might be different brands. It comes with a car charger, which does very well actually when you're driving in the car if you're on a long trip. Hi, Dada. Sorry about that. See his little sweet busted lip? It looks like his tongue is hanging out, but it's not. He did a burnout and he landed on his widow 10. Bubba. Anyway. Oh, and then this. Uh, There's something like this, but also they make some of these that look like a roller, but I didn't try that one because this is cheaper and this adjusts. See? And then it bends. Okay? It bends like this to where you can squeeze on your neck, where say this machine, or you may not feel it is getting it quite right. To me, there was a spot up here or something that it wasn't really doing. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you guys have to know that knots are permanent. Meaning they will not work themselves out. They will never work themselves out, okay? And it's your muscles. You got all kinds of tiny little stringy muscles in your neck and your upper back. And you can even buy these balls that are, I don't have it here. It's like similar. You can even buy them at Walmart, but I got mine at a chiropractor where they're not like a tennis ball with the hair that's going to rub the wall, but you can put that ball against the wall. It has a little rubbery texture. And as you're rolling, so you can roll that ball. Sometimes I've gotten like a tiny little rubber ball, the children's bouncy balls, because I need a tinier one. I can lay down on the floor and do it, or I can roll up against the wall. I kid you not, there's a section in my back, our backs, maybe like where someone pats you on the back, down kind of upper higher near your lungs, not toward your waistline, that when I rub a certain area there, my sinuses open. It's crazy. So the point is, I don't want to kick this water over because I keep his water on the bed for the middle of the night. Knots will never work themselves out. And knots can cause migraines. Yes. I was starting to get migraines horrible bad. And one day, God pointed it out to me what it was. And I think it was some CBN, they were saying we're calling out migraines. And he said something like, touch your body part, right? So I did. And I felt this knot. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I started squeezing, pushing on it. And the more I pushed on it, which I didn't have a lot of strength in my fingers or my hands and whatever, but my headache would like go away, like subside, the migraine thing. And I was like, oh my goodness. That's why I bought that other, well, that was, I had already known about knots, but I didn't know about that knot. But yes, if you are an athlete of any kind, you are maybe retired athlete and you have acquired and accumulated some knots, they will never work themselves out. You have to work them out. And guess what? They will be horribly painful. That's why these Swedish masseuses are so famous, because they if you can find a good masseuse, they will find the knot. And anybody that is some kind of a doctorate in anatomy should know where knots can develop. Even a chiropractor should know this. And chiropractors can't help those. No, they cannot. So you're seeing a chiropractor for all kinds of health reasons and healthy to maintain and for maintenance. But if they're not working out some knots, just forget it, because a knot is in your muscle. So that muscle has a knot knotted up in it. And if that knot can't work out, then they're adjusting your spine, but your muscle is just going to pull it right back out. So you have to apply horrible pressure. Then the next day, you're going to be horribly sore. After you do this, gulp a bunch of water, because you have now just released a bunch of toxins into your body and they need to be flushed out. Your body's not going to appreciate the fact that you just released a bunch of toxins, and now where are they going to go now? So you have to drink water after you do this. That neck machine goes for about 20 minutes, I think. And you can totally just work one spot if you want. Lean in it, put it up against a wall. And you have to work that knot out. Now, if you go to find a masseuse that knows where the knots are and they're good at it, and they will push on that knot so hard, it makes it release. Okay, because it's knotted up. It needs pressure to make it stop knotting up. And that, my friend, will get rid of probably the world's 50% of the world's migraines and headaches. There's also something I looked into concerning that I got pissed off because I went to some sports medicine and they want to give me an MRI and BS like that. I'm like, look, you're a sports medicine doctor. You know where knots are. You know where they can be felt. Just put a shot in there and it'll cause it. It's like, I've looked it up. You can get a cortisone shot if you don't want to do the massager. If you have insurance and you got a doctor that's worth the salt, say, look, find all my knots and shoot them with some, whatever it is, cortisol, cortisone, make them relax, right? Muscle relaxers won't do it, I don't think. You don't want to be on those anyway. They're going to make you fall asleep. Okay, so then, you know how I was saying in an early video about this antiviral, blah, blah. A miracle, see, because God knew I was going to ask finally, and he knew he was going to tell me, and then he already had the alternative at the store because Patrick's brother sent him 2 large bags of tea. And it's been sitting there for, I don't know how long. I've seen them. They came while I was here working here, like maybe a month ago. And then I thought, you know what? I don't know what that stuff is. It's weird. I don't need it and all. And then one day, not too long ago, I decided to Google it. The sun. Thank you, Jesus, for the sun. Okay, it's this tea, okay? It needs the dark. That's why it's in an aluminum bag. But it's this tea right here. And guess what? It is antimicrobial. It's basically an antibiotic and an antiviral. And this is cut. And then you have to steep it. I have a tea ball, just a teaspoon. You can only do it for 7 days. Only do it for 7 days. Do not do it more than 7 days. If you guys want to look into this. I don't know. I've Googled it, so I know that there's capsules, but I didn't Google it that much. I was just Googling it for the information. But that's an example of God having a provision before the Oh, Papa, here's your Wawas. God having the provision before he already knows the future, y'all. And it's according to our Lord's Prayer every day that we're inviting him in for his kingdom to come in our life, for Jesus to come, So I'm going to go over, I mean, I got some more notes and everything, and I think I've heard everything, I think. But yeah, I wanted to tell you about the tea. If you want to look that up, some people might really agree with other things like basil, also cloves. My sister was moving and she gave me, she gave my other sister and I a bunch of stuff she doesn't want. So she has this big old fat jar of cloves, y'all. And then you can still smell them. These are from Frontier, maybe Whole Foods. No, I don't know. Anyway, I heard cloves, but I don't know how to use them. Clove tea is even stronger than basil. I don't even know how to use basil, but because I was giving up the antivirals, if this ever flares up again, I'm going to be doing that tea for 7 days. But I'm actually doing it now for 7 days because I want to just see if I feel better. Maybe I have a little bit of something and I will kill it. Plus, I think it said it helps your gut health because natural remedies do kind of help your gut health. And then I think what else? But yes, I want to go over those knots because knots, once you get them, they're for life. Do you hear me? They are for life. They are not going away. They're not going anywhere. And some of us, I was, when I was working mine out, I'm like, I am full of knots. I am just a big fat knot. Okay. I was like a big fat knot. Every freaking square inch, it seemed, had a knot. I worked them all out, never had another migraine. I was getting to where I had a migraine like once a week. And then it started getting to be twice a week sometimes. I've heard some people have them for 3 days and they can't see the dark. They got to be in the dark. Mine weren't like that, but like I said, just a plain old headache. I'm a big baby. I will not get out of bed. Okay. And we're talking a migraine here. So you have to work the knot out or find a doctor that'll give you injections into the knot. He'll find the knot and he should be able to inject the knot with some cortisol stuff. Long time ago, I looked it up and I tried to get a doctor to do that. I'm like, I don't need no MRI. You should feel it. You know where the knots are? Dude, you just want money. So bye-bye. And I just wasted my money for you to tell me BS. So if you guys want to ever do clove tea for that, it said it's stronger than basil. And then, like I've got greasy hair right now from the tea tree oil. You can do that. Like if you don't want to leave it on your hair for 24 hours, you don't have to. Just pay attention to your brush. You're going to see a huge difference. Okay. You're going to go the next day and brush your hair and you're going to see maybe only 3 hairs come out. Whereas it was almost a brush full before. I don't know how often some people brush their hair several times a day, but dude, I'll sometimes, before I was doing these videos, I would wear a ponytail like this for days. And so that's like days worth of falling out hair. So when I would go to finally fix it again, I would brush and there would be a lot of hair. But a part of that, and see, fungus, remember when everybody was afraid to share a hat or share a this or that? It's not because of lice. It's because dandruff is a fungus that you can spread through brushes, yes, and hats. I think actually I got it from my dogs, honestly. Because for a while there, years ago, I would brush them with my own brush. And I brushed them every day. I know that's gross, but hey, I'm the type, I'll pick up their poop with my bare hands. Okay. I know what they eat. I don't need no doggy bag. I'll just throw it in the street, pick it up, throw it in the street, wipe my hands off on the grass. Especially when people want to come out and attack you. You gonna pick that up? I don't want that poop in my yard, blah, blah. And I go, I just picked it up. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this. And then the oil pulling, that is an ancient thing that it's it's, you might have seen or heard of the things on the soles of your feet detoxing you. That's a Chinese thing that I've done that long time ago before. And that is interesting because they give you 7 pads on each foot and you do it every night for 7 nights. And you do start seeing those pads get cleaner and cleaner. And it's not like they're numbered. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're rigged, in other words. All the pads look identical and you smack them on, one on each foot, and sleep in them, and then put some socks on over top of them, and then pull them off, and then do it again the next night for, I think, 7 or 5 days. And then by the end, they're clean. So that's an ancient thing where they're pulling it out of the soles of your feet. The oil pulling is pulling it out of your tongue, and you've got to do it for 7 days. Do not even spit. Don't drink anything or anything. You just get up, set your alarm on your thing for 20 minutes, and the organic sesame oil, 1 tablespoon, swish it around. I think they said how do they say? Don't do it fast, and don't do it like that. Don't do it you have to do it like this. A little, I think, like that, where you're kind of suctioning it-ish as best you can around. And that is a detox, but it's also will strengthen your teeth. You might read about it and it'll say if you've got loose teeth. Well, whoever has loose teeth? What? But a 5-year-old that's losing their teeth. I don't know what they mean by loose teeth. Maybe somebody else does, but I'm rambling. But it will... Some say it's controversial because it whitens your teeth because you're swishing for 20 minutes, 7 days. No, I didn't notice if my teeth got whiter, but I did notice that a cavity that was starting to get painful a little, and I couldn't go to the dentist right away. And then I did the oil pulling. It stopped hurting, and it never hurted it again. Hurt. It never hurt again. But I eventually got it fixed. But that was years later. I also have a cracked molar. The dentists will say, you better do that. Da, 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 da. And I was like, it's been cracked for like 10 years now. I do oil pulling every now and then, and it'll strengthen it. Just, if it ain't broke, I ain't fixing it. The other one broke because I was chomped down on a popcorn kernel. Anyway, I think that was all. I thought I missed something else, but, you guys might have your own, remedy things. I'm just saying mine, and because while we're waiting and watching for Jesus, if someone can be led to a remedy that will set their body free of a migraine or a arthritis pain, I would try one at a time. If you want to try pycnogenol first, I think it's 500 milligrams max. Google that. Try one at a time for about 4 weeks. If you're really on a budget, try turmeric first for your joints. If turmeric doesn't work, try cinnamon for your joints for arthritis, because it worked for me. I tried turmeric for the whole bottle. It didn't do nothing. Then I went to cinnamon. It worked. I did cinnamon for years for my joints. Then it stopped working. I tried turmeric again, and that did work that time. And then I found out about pycnogenol, and it was also good for joints and other things. And then I found out about resveratrol. I think because pycnogenol was hard to get. If you're an athlete, resveratrol is going to make you go longer and stronger in your running. Because, I mean, I'm not a runner and I'm not an athlete right now, but trust me, I didn't think I could run a block down the road to get to, it was in an airport. I was in an airport and I had to pee really bad. And I went running. I said, where's the bathroom? And then they said, way down there. So I started running and it was so far away. I'm like, I'm going to stop running here in a second. But for now, I'm going to run. And I mean, even though I had to pee, I guess it didn't make me pee to run. I wasn't running like a sprint, but kind of running. And then I thought, I'll peter out here in a minute. I never did. I never did. And I was shocking myself. I wasn't even huffing and puffing. Okay. I wasn't even huffing and puffing. And when I got to the bathroom, I wasn't even huffing and puffing. And I knew it was that resveratrol. I knew it because I never would have been able to run that far. And I think I might have covered everything. The tea tree oil will stop your hair from falling out because it will kill the fungus. I did get this crap at the dollar store. Oops. It has a nozzle and you can go like this, but I just brushed my hair and it works okay because it's a mixture. It's not straight tea tree oil just by yourself. You can get it on Amazon also in like a 20 ounce bottle. It's just me knocking on my head, y'all. I think the Dexter heard this. Can y'all hear that? I can hear it because my ear is right here. Dexter, I'm knocking on my head. Is there anything in there? Anyway, you take that and you do this, right? Okay. And because you want it in your scalp more, you don't have to have it on your hair. You need it on your scalp to kill the dandruff. If that fungus comes back again, which you don't want it to, so you could either do preventative maintenance, which I don't know how often that would be, or you can just be on the safe side and do it once a week on the weekend when you're going to be home all day and you're not stinking everybody up at work or something. So, all right. And then, yeah, I think that's all. I'm just looking over there at my stuff because I do take D3 from the eye doctor. Some people, it's like some Omega D3. It's what he sells. And it's kind of pricey, but he says it's like infused like 3 or 4 times. It's very good. And I'm like, what the heck? It's good for my eyes. So yeah. All right. That's all. God bless you guys. And work out your knots. Or go get that machine and that other contraption, or go to your doctor and do the shot. Find a doctor to do that. And get yourself some tea if you have a virus or a bacteria. And whatever else that tea is good for. I showed you the name. It does other things. So, all right. We'll do the Lord's Prayer eventually when I stop butting in. Okay. Bye. God bless you. Bye.